Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well this Sunday, the 2400th. Yeah, I don't give dates anymore. Calm down. You're not going to understand what I'm telling you. Soon you'll understand. Be patient. I am, by the grace of God, have been very patient, and I continue to endure. You don't know what's really going on. Actually, I would like to talk a bit about Sharia. It made me think I heard bits of Netanyahu, who calls for the Judeo-Christian world. Judeocrats have always had. Against the Muslim world, by the way, the homo-Islamist, you understood it. It's been a long time. It's the Muslims who are targeted, obviously. I've been saying it for 20 years, 30 years, maybe more. But I expressed myself publicly afterwards, and it made me think of that. I have tasted a little of what I could hear from his speech. And we have been hearing it for a long time, for a few decades in France, especially on TV sets, on propaganda platforms. You have noticed the evolution. I'm of a certain age today, so I do have some life experience. And I had talked about that at one time. I had mentioned it to you because you understand why I use the word I a lot. One day you will understand. And I had talked a little about the evolution of the media. For the media would ask questions. They tried to deceive people by being, and then it has built up today. They are doing propaganda, ideology, politics. They don't care anymore. They give their opinion. They even prevent others from speaking. And that has evolved, and we had talked about it at one time. And we heard a lot about Sharia. Is Sharia above the Republic? That famous question, you see. And if one day France were attacked by a Muslim country, I don't know what a Muslim country means, but okay, why not? Okay. Which side would you be on? For me, it was a question that no longer concerned me at the time. It concerned me because I belonged to that community. I still belong to it in reality, to my Muslim family, even if they do not agree with my position today. My status, it's family. And so we had this discourse that has risen crescendo now. They call to burn everyone, or to tie Muslims and Arabs to poles, to hang them from trees. It evolves. It's good. I glorify the Eternal making the masks fall, inspiring these people and hardening their hearts so that some may return to Him. This question has been asked quite often. Is Sharia above the Republic? Sharia is just meaningless nonsense, which means nothing. I will give you my point of view, from my perspective, if you are interested in hearing it. Okay? And for that, I invite you. Right, you do what you want. Calm down. I didn't ask you to follow me if you don't want to. But I'm giving you an answer that might convince you first, and then use it when you're asked this question. Is Sharia above the Republic? So for me, it's a question to ask the Republic, since it is the Republic that actually poses this question with all their lackeys. Is it? And here I address the Republic. I give to the Republic what belongs to the Republic, and I give to God what belongs to God. I am a responsible person, even after all these years in prison. I am blameless, despite all the lies that have been said. And even there, even indeed in prison, I have shown I am an exemplary inmate, still am today. I have some permissions. I go out, I come back, I go out, I come back, until I get out, and then it's them who will go back to work. Do not worry. God is a just God, and God does not abandon His heritage. All their schemes are written before God, okay? Even if He were to make the mountains disappear. So I ask a question to the Democratic Republic. Is the penal code in essence above the law? Is the penal code essentially that of the law? Because you talk about Sharia to always show that you must go even while you are hiding, while all the institutions are rotten and manipulated. Okay, my case is the case of the nation. You study my case and you understand exactly what is happening, not just in France, but on the planet. Don't worry. Don't be overly impatient. I am myself in reality, but patiently, in the end. Is the penal code that is their Sharia above human rights? The law is the human rights that our beloved Moses brought and survives through his family. That's the question. And it's always the same mechanism. While we talk about Sharia, we forget that we are governed by fictional laws. France no longer has a foundation. Unfortunately, France no longer has a soul. These are unofficial laws. You are condemned, stripped, put into despair, deprived of all your rights, the right to freedom of expression, to the presumption of innocence. I say all this because I have been completely deprived of all this. I don't know how much I have been deprived of all this until today. I am threatened with going back to prison. If I say certain things, if I tell you what I was told, what I experienced, etc., all of this is madness, okay? Because I tell myself I'm a messenger of God, I would suffer from mystical delusions, for example, because it doesn't mean that he thinks he is a messenger. They want to treat me physiologically. It's the lawyers, the 10 lawyers who were present who requested it. They even asked me to read books. They provided titles of books to learn a little more about what the Jewish community is, the Jewish people, etc. I said, if you want, I can convert to Judaism. It will be quicker. We will save time. Well, all of this is completely insane, but it's the reality. I say this with a bit of irony, but I am very angry, because they have crossed the line, and you don't know how much. So today they want to fry my neurons. I spent my time fighting in prison. Even rest, I didn't find it in prison. I spent my time fighting. You don't know how much I say things. So they wanted to negotiate with me for me to get out. I do not negotiate with you. There will be no negotiation. Despite the suffering I am in, that's not the issue. But to tell you that in fact we live in France, there is no longer any law. All of this is virtual. They do absolutely what they want. Really, justice, come on. So be careful. When I say justice, there are well-meaning people. It's not pretending to say that. There are well-meaning people. It's not a problem. They have their hands tied. Even the judges, they have their hands tied, at least not for those who are corrupt. The police, the same. The police, the same. I tell you, we will come back. You will see. You will see. It's people from the East who are here, I tell you. They are Ukrainians, they are Poles, etc. So they show you the veiled ones and those who walk in Ile-de-la-Barre. The institutions, they are. Netanyahu did not come to speak only to the French. He came to speak to those who are already here as well. You always focus on one person. Macron, Netanyahu, Baya Rabib condemned. For an act of terrorism in '88, he accused me of being responsible for the 250 deaths. He came, he told me, I wanted to see Mr. Malik in the eyes. Well, of course, you surprised me. I am in the dock restrained. He noted me. Yes, what courage. So he spat on me and then he left. Anyway, all of this is completely crazy. So the question is the penal code really exactly above? There lies the misfortune of the French nation. Okay? The sea of cities that God mentions in the Quran, okay? The province we call France, the country of human rights, is the penal code above human rights. They have a law above the law. On the pyramid of norms, you know well that above human rights, there is God. There is nothing above, except the eternally disarmed, the just judge. Okay, so when you are asked the question, Sharia, you tell them, but your penal code is above the law. How does it know that there is a law within the law? These people despise human rights, and the people have forgotten and ignore human rights. There lies the misfortune of the nation, and they play with the laws. I gave them my face and my back. They did as they wished. It's scandalous. For 3 years I didn't see the sky. I lived in a 9 square meter space, and I walked in a cage from my cell to the cage for 3 years. 3 years, I'll let you guess. And in prison, you have a life. Believe me. And I only fought, and I have to continue today. Because they say I'm crazy, smart, but crazy. Anyway, where am I going? I have no more time. Take care of yourselves, God bless you. And think, if you feel like it, don't bother me. Don't annoy me first thing in the morning, please.